Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The question says, Alhamdulillah, whenever I get time to catch, or whenever I get time, I try to catch the first row, but many times, as there's a lot of time between adhan and salah, I fart, release air. Should I leave the first row and go and wudu, or continue to be in the first row? But if I leave, I won't be able to catch the first row. I'm not sure, but it seems as if this question is a part of the previous question regarding to the continuous urine. Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't. If it's a part of the previous question, then we explain the ruling. As long as the time comes in, the adhan, the time has already come in, whether the adhan was made or not, but the time is in, you make the wudu, you sit and you make the salat, you wait, no problem, no matter what leaves your body. Everybody clear on this? As far as if you make wudu before the time, then that's a problem, as the people of knowledge explain, based off the Messenger of Allah's advice to the woman who came during his time who had the continuous irregular bleeding, and he gave her instruction to wash, to make wudu. Some narrations say ghusl, some narrations say wudu every salah, other narrations state to combine between dhuhr and asr. The dalil for that in Sahih Bukhari and in Sahih Muslim, hadith of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. As far as if the question is different, and this is a person that has another problem, if you have continuous wind, then the ruling applies to the previous answer. But if you don't have continuous wind, if you have a normal type of system or body, you pass wind, you must make wudu. And you cannot sit on the front row, you cannot wait for the salah and you don't have wudu. The Prophet ﷺ, he tells us that Allah does not accept prayer without purification. The hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar in Sahih Muslim. Allah does not accept prayer unless there is tuhur, there's purity or purification. So therefore, once again, if a person has continuous wind, a problem, he made wudu after the time came in, he sat on the front row waiting for the jama'ah to be established, then he passed wind 5 minutes before the imam came, uncontrollable wind, then that's a different story. As far as if the person has normal condition or normal body or whatever the case may be, then he must make wudu. And sitting on the front row, getting the virtue of the front row, as the Prophet ﷺ said in the authentic narration in the Sahih, narrated Abu Hurairah, if the people knew what was in the call to the prayer, if they knew the rewards of the call to the prayer, and the first row, he says, ثُمَّ لَمْ يَجِدْهُ, and then they didn't have the ability to get to the front row, إِلَّا أَن يَسْتَهِمُوا عَلَيْهِ لَاسْتَهَمُوا عَلَيْهِ. And the only way they could get the adhan, the only way they could sit on the front row was to pull straws. Okay, pulling straws similar to rock, paper, scissors in our culture, trying to figure out a fair, equal way to figure out who gets the place, who gets the spot. If that's the only thing that they could do to get the position on the front row, they would do that. The Prophet ﷺ, he told us, if you knew the rewards of this salah, of fajr, they will come crawling, etc. So these virtues are amazing, but they're only for those who keep their wudu. And there is no preference, there is no virtuous deed when you're failing to do the mandatory things. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha qumtum min as-salah, Allah says, oh you who believe, when you stand up with the intention of prayer. And what's meant by idha qumtum, as many of the Salaf Salih said, wa antum muhdithin, you have broken your wudu. Others, they said, waqad qumtum min al-madaji', you stand up from your beds, as Imam al-Tabari rahimahullah ta'ala quotes in his tafsir for many of the Sahaba and many of the Tabi'een, what's meant by إِذَا قُمْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ, when you stand to the prayer. So you can't get something that's virtuous and leave off something that's mandatory, which is wudu, which is purification. So bid'illah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether it's this scenario or the next, hopefully the rulings are clear, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he surely knows best.